Hey everyone, it's Zach and Gus, and we're back from Great Dane Care. We hope that you all had a wonderful New Year's and that 2021 is off to a much better start than what we saw from the end and middle parts of 2020 there. For today's video, we're going to be doing something fun and a little bit different, where we're going to talk about the 8 things that I love about Great Danes. Now, one thing to just very clearly point out, much like humans, Great Danes, they all have different personalities, they all have different quirks. They're all just a little bit different. So this video is going to be just generalizations about things that I love about Great Danes. Not every Great Dane out there will exhibit every single one of these qualities, but as a whole, you'll generally see that they, as for the majority, do. Now, it's also worth pointing out that some of these qualities may also be seen in some other dogs as well, here and there. But what I'm describing here is really just the things that I really love about these big, sweet, gentle giants. So with that, let's go ahead and jump in. Now, for number 1 on the list, we all know that Great Danes are giant dogs, but the things that most people underestimate is their giant personalities. Now, every Great Dane, just like a human, is going to have a slightly different personality, but generally speaking, they are very goofy, just very lovable, just very sweet dogs. And the personality that you kind of expect out of them is almost borderline human-like at times. It's a little kind of unsettling to realize that you have such a close connection. You feel like you're really communicating with your dog through emotions and nonverbal communication. It's just really interesting to see how, a dog that is quite literally human-sized, you feel like you just really connect with them at a deeper level. Obviously, all dogs are fantastic. We all love them. They're better than a lot of us humans, unfortunately, at times. But there's just something about special about the personality of a Great Dane that just makes them just that much more lovable. Now, for number 2 on the list, as we once again know, the Great Danes are indeed a very large dog. And as you can see, Gus is certainly one who's prone to kind of curling up and snuggling with her family. So while many dogs like to enjoy a snuggle, the thing that's really unique about Great Danes is that they either don't know or they choose to forget their size at times, which allows them to, find an excuse to hop up on that love seat or that chair to try to snuggle and be close with their family members. Sometimes if they're scared, or perhaps they just want to feel that comfort of being close to you and always just leaning in. The same goes if, you're just kind of walking out and about and, you'll see them get really excited and just kind of like their whole body is just wiggling because they're so excited to say hi to somebody, and they'll lean in just to try to, really love them and try to say hi, thinking that they're a 20-pound puppy or something, when in all reality, almost all Great Danes are over 100 pounds as an adult. Gus here is 140 pounds, so that's a lot of dog to love, which is not a bad thing, just it's funny how they kind of forget their own size here. All right, so for number 3 on the list, I think that something is also, once again, very unique to Great Danes. We all know that many dogs kind of, love their humans, but they also oftentimes really enjoy playing with other dogs. Something that's very unique about Great Danes is I feel like they really need humans. Like, they need us to be happy and be content. Many other dogs, they of course like their humans and they enjoy them, but they're also very happy just to go out and kind of, play with other people at the dog park. But if you look at a Great Dane, I've seen this out of Gus as well as others, if they go to the border or something, you kind of watch them on the camera, sure, they'll be playing and interacting with the other dogs, but it's really the humans there that they're kind of seeking out the attention and affection from. And Gus does this when we go on public outings. We go to a dog park, we go to a walk for somewhere, and Gus is always more interested to kind of talk to, or I shouldn't say talk, but, engage with the other humans and try to like walk up and lean in or get a smile out of them, because I really think that they need humans as much as we really need them. So it's something that's very kind of sweet to see out of these gentle giants here, that they really need us as much as we need them. All right, so for number 4 on the list, something that once again is very characteristic of dogs is their devotion to humans. But I think Great Danes can take this to even another level. And I'll kind of use an example that, I experienced with Gus here a couple years ago. And that's that I was extremely sick, where I was actually laid up in bed at home for a little over 2 weeks. So literally did not leave the bed except for to use the bathroom. I had food and fluids kind of brought to me. I was extremely, extremely sick. Now, many dogs would come in, kind of check on you, give you a nuzzle, just check on, see how you're okay. But Gus here literally laid next to my bed for over 2 weeks straight. She was so concerned about me, she did not want to leave my side. It was really, sweet, and, at the time, medicine was the only thing that was going to make me better, but to know that I had my kind of lovable fur baby here just checking in because she was so worried, didn't want to be separated from me, it did make me feel a lot better. So I think that's something that's very special about them, just how devoted they are to their families. And this applies to not just when somebody's sick, but, let's say if you're sad or you're upset about something, they're really in tune with these emotions, and they will really seek you out to kind of comfort you, to be with you, and even protect you if they think that you're in danger. So it's a very endearing quality here out of our sweet, gentle giants. So for number 5 in the list, and I've kind of alluded to this several times now, but once again, we know that this is a huge dog. They love affection, they forget their size. But even with all that aside, at the end of the day, they are extremely sweet and extremely gentle animals. Now, Of course, there's going to be edge cases where one is scared or excited and they're not as sweet or as gentle as we'd like, but for the 99% of the time, even with how large they are, they're just so gentle and so sweet. We have 2 young children in our house, and Gus is so patient with them, so kind of willing to let them come up and kind of snuggle her and pet her. And while, of course, like any big sister, she gets annoyed with them, she's just so sweet and so gentle with them, knowing that obviously if she could literally lift a paw and send them flying, or, bump them over and take them out on accident. So it's just really nice to see that, despite their massive size here, that they're just the sweetest, kind of gentlest dogs, given their massive size. So number 6 I'm going to cover is something that I've grown to appreciate more in recent years because we do have young children. And that is just that, in general, while there are, of course, certain things related to grooming and health and nutrition that every dog really needs to stay healthy, for the most part, I really think that Great Danes are a pretty low maintenance breed. Now, of course, you need to keep up with things like cleaning their teeth and their ears and trimming their nail and giving them, medicine to prevent things like heartworm. But if you think about like the exercise needs and the energy requirements, most Great Danes are actually pretty low to moderate in this regards, which for someone like myself who has young children, very busy with a job, I of course would love to spend as much time as I can with my dogs going on walks or hikes or doing fun activities outdoors, but I don't always have a ton of time for it. So just knowing that, I have the ability to spend just 15, 30 minutes a day kind of having fun with them, that's enough in a lot of cases. Of course, if we have more time, we can do that, but just knowing that you don't need to be trying to exercise them for hours to keep them content and happy, that is a benefit to somebody who's busy. So not that there's anything wrong with this if you have more free time, but if you don't have a ton of time to do this every single day, it is kind of a nice quality that they don't need a ton of activity. Now, of course, if you want to go on that really long hike or really long walk, your Great Dane will be up for it in a heartbeat. So don't worry about that if that is the case for you as well. All right, so for number 7 on the list, and I will preemptively say don't want to offend anyone with this, but I am biased. I'll admit this up front, but I think Great Danes are just the most, at the same time, adorable and just majestic dogs ever. If you look at them as their puppies, they are just the cutest little balls of wrinkles with all their cute little scrunchiness, and you just want to kind of hug them and kiss them. And that does apply to a lot of puppies. A lot of puppies are adorable and cute. However, for Great Danes, the area where I think this is really different is I just think that they're just, even though they change a lot throughout their life, they continue to just be both cute and kind of majestic and regal at the same time. So, Gus here was an adorable puppy. I think she's a pretty darn good looking Great Dane at 5 years old, but if I see old Great Danes walking around who are 8 and 10, they kind of, their faces turn gray or white with age. I still think they're the cutest dogs in the world. So I think it's a lot to say that a dog is both cute and majestic, starting from a little tiny puppy, well, comparatively tiny, all the way up until the age of, 10 or 12 near the end of their life. They're still just a good looking dog. If that's something that matters to you, may not be, and that's totally fine. I just think it's something that, not only have you developed this emotional kind of personable connection with your dog, but then when you just look at them, you're just like, man, that's just a good looking dog. It kind of makes you proud at times. All right, so before I get to 8 and the final one on the list, if you've enjoyed this video so far, make sure to go ahead and give it a like down below. It takes 2 seconds to click that like button, and it really helps us out if you do. But with that, we'll get into number 8, and this is an extremely important quality, I think, for any dog, and that's that, they want to do whatever the family wants to do. If the family's up for it, your dog wants to go and do it as well, and that is so typical of Great Danes. Now, sure, they may like to lay around and, sleep or be lazy. That's really a big part of that. It's just wanting to hang out and be with you. But if you want to go out and go to the park, go hiking, go to the store, literally anything you want to do, your Great Dane wants to do with you because they love you so much. They just always want to be around you. And that's a really kind of positive personality and quirk that I think is, nice about them. Now, of course, as they get older, you may see a little bit of fall off if they are having orthopedic issues, or if, of course, if your dog is sick, they may not be as, up to going out and doing a lot of other things. But the rest of the time, they are there to be your sidekick and your partner through thick and thin, and just go through anything with you. So something that, once again, you're looking at a a creature here that you get to spend hopefully a decade or more with throughout your life. It's just something that just really further increases that bond and makes it that much more enjoyable. So this is just kind of my quick list for things about the 8 things that I really just love about Great Danes. Of course, there are many other qualities as well. You may not see every single one of these in your Great Dane, but I think if you really kind of bundle this up into a holistic picture, it makes them just such a phenomenal dog breed to spend time around and just have the privilege to have part of your family. So with that, we hope you enjoyed this video. If you haven't already, give us a like down below, as well as subscribe to our channel. And until next time, stay Daney, my friends.